Let's go next to our caller from the 951 area code. Caller from 951. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
So, is this for me?
That is indeed you.
Oh, hi. My name's Billy. I'm from California,
Hey, Billy, what's going
and
on?
I have two questions. If
And Billy, we're not on
and I'll try to go
speakerphone,
through
are
them
we?
quick.
I can't imagine we'd be on speakerphone right now.
No, we're not.
Okay.
There's a fan in the building I'm in. Can you hear that? Is that what you're hearing?
I don't know. It
Or
sounded like you got very far for a second there.
it sounded like what?
What's your question, Billy? We're ready for it.
Okay, sorry. The first question is, a coworker mentioned that if we removed minimum wage, like things would be better as a nation
How so?
because something about floors, artificial floors are bad. It prevents people from negotiating true value. It increases unemployment, that kind of thing.
Listen,
And I'm
all of those
wondering if,
arguments, did those strike you as good arguments?
no, so that's part of where I'm, because to me, something about it seemed kind of fishy, but I have coworkers who are like, hey, some of this is sounding like it makes sense. And I don't actually know anything about economics. So I figured, hey, I might ask an adult who does.
Yeah, so the first thing I would do is go to Google and type in debunking minimum wage price floor, okay? And you will find a
Mhm.
wealth of information about that. It is true that in a classical economics framework, you can put a very
Mhm.
convincing looking graph together, which will make it appear as though that is the effect of a price floor. The reality is we are almost at full employment. We continue to be
Mhm.
almost at full employment, even in places that have 11, 12, and $15 minimum wages. And what you have to understand is that there is a very particular well, some people are acting in good faith, but there is a very particular bad faith incentive to make these arguments by people who
Mhm.
just don't want businesses regulated, and they want businesses to be able to pay $3, $4, $5 an hour. And the fact that you can have such an unequal and problematic economy that people would be
Mhm.
willing to work for $3 or $4 an hour doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do or what we should be doing. And that's the important thing. Yes, if you remove the minimum wage, you will see companies paying less and people accepting it and being willing to accept that. But the long-term implications of that are not good. The long-term
Mhm.
implications of that on crime are not good. The long-term implications of that on government benefit spending and welfare programs aren't good. So you need to zoom out in order to really understand the context of those talking points.
Okay. And then my other question was about healthcare. One
Okay.
argument that was made is that because we have insurance, it allows companies to charge us really high prices. And if we didn't have like a health insurance base and instead people paid like out of pocket themselves, it would drive prices down or something because these companies would still have to sell their products to people. And if they can afford less, or something, it would drive prices down.
Yep, but
Something to that effect.
that's a total free market solution, and that might work when demand is not as inelastic as it is in healthcare. But healthcare is different than healthcare should not be treated as a normal market because basically, if you don't need a hip replacement, you don't care whether a hip replacement costs $1 or $1,000 or $100,000. If you do need a hip replacement, you're in a relatively small group, right? It's still not everybody needs hip replacements, and all of a sudden, what it costs has no impact whatsoever on how badly you need that hip replacement. And this is the reason why those sort of free market laissez-faire ideas simply shouldn't even be in the picture when we're talking about healthcare. And most Western developed countries have already figured that out.
Maybe I didn't quite communicate what I'm trying to ask correctly. It's the idea is like if people can't afford insulin at the current price, wouldn't healthcare industries or something lower the price? And that the only reason they can get away with charging like a high price is because insurance companies can pay it.
No, that's not the only reason, and this is related to multiple different levels that we've analyzed in detail, and this includes the fact that there are insurance companies do negotiate certain rates for products, and in order to get a certain reimbursement rate, that causes an incentive to make the sticker prices higher and higher. But it's far more complicated than this, and we've got a couple videos on it that I would encourage you to check out.
No problem. Thank you for your time.
All right, appreciate the call.